Today's episode of TOMAR University, we're highlighting a solution developed by another Arizona-based manufacturing company, Bulletproof Diesel, called their Bulletproof Antenna Mount. In this video, we'll take a brief overlook of the product, demonstrate some programming of the lights, and take a look at an installation of it. In the studio with us today is Andrew Presley from Bulletproof Diesel. Andrew, can you tell us a little bit about this and why you guys developed this and what kind of needs it solves?
Absolutely. So we're a problem-solving company kind of by nature. And so a few problems this solves is getting the coax cable from the outside of the cab to the inside of the cab without drilling a hole. Nobody wants to drill a hole in their new truck.
Sure.
And in addition, the chase lights was kind of a necessity because a lot of the Arizona-based and I guess countrywide based groups require off-road lighting or dust lighting for that.
Okay.
So this solves both of those problems, getting the light wiring from the outside to the inside and the coax from the outside to the inside.
Can you talk a little bit about why you guys made the decision to add these particular lights?
We needed something that was a little brighter and maybe a little more focused than what we had on the other mounts. We wanted more, because more is always better.
Sure.
And in addition, these seem to be a lot more focused. In other words, the light's not kind of shining everywhere, it's more focused to the back of the truck, which is really nice. The last thing was the fitment. I think these three lights, the way they fit on the antenna mount is really slick, really nice, and actually looks very intentional, like it's meant to be there.
They're getting their chase lights, they're getting their radio set up, and they get to retain their factory third brake light. So whatever's built into that third brake light, like if it's has to do with the Raptor, now you're talking they get to keep their DOT compliant marker lights in there, bed camera,
the cameras, yep,
the bed illumination. So everything looks factory. When they buy it, what do they get to be able to set it up? It's pretty easy?
It's not. It's definitely a do-it-yourself project. There's nothing here that's rocket science.
Sure.
On this particular unit, there's brackets that are included that pinch the cab between the mount and the bracket.
Sure.
All of the hardware is included. It's all stainless. It's pretty plug and play. One of the options that you'll have if you want two antennas, and even if you want a single, is you want a UHF connector or do you want something else because of some other type of system you're using?
Sure.
Mini UHFs are very popular. The SMAs are very popular for the WeBoost cell signal booster.
Okay.
But everything that you'll need for the installation is included with the antenna mount, except for tools. So drill bits if you need it, and screwdrivers, things like that.
So pretty much just regular hand tools and
yeah.
a drill.
Yeah.
Okay.
But definitely a do-it-yourselfer, not really challenging. Take a couple hours on a weekend.
And it looks like you have two different options here for the center light.
Yeah, what we wanted to do is try to keep the center light a little versatile to where if you wanted to run it to a single switch, you could, and control that light separately from the other two.
Okay.
So you have two options. You can basically connect all three lights together. In other words, one switch, click it on, they all three come on. Or you can have the two outer lights, click a switch, they come on, and the center one independent.
Is this available just to retail, or can fleet customers get in on this as well?
Absolutely. So we already sell fleet to fleet customers antenna mounts, and we also do a big line of diesel engine parts, obviously.
Sure.
But absolutely, we can custom configure it to how they need it, how they want it.
Sure. So if you have like a police department who wants red blue or red blue amber, or even a fire department that wants red lights, maybe this is on a command truck.
Yeah, one of two ways to get in touch with us. fleet@bulletproofdiesel.com, or just give us a call, ask for me or ask for John, he's our sales manager, and we'll get you taken care of, no problem.
We went ahead and we disconnected the wiring harness, and we're going to show how to program one of these lights. Let's say we want to make a change. In the instruction manual for the RECT 16, there's a table of all the different flash patterns and flash rates. So we're going to demonstrate changing the primary mode of this middle lamp right here. Clipped in the pigtail that's included with the kit, and we're going to go ahead and hook up a power and ground. Please keep in mind the power and the ground have to be from the same source, whether that's the same battery you're using or the same power supply. Otherwise, programming will not work. So we're going to clip on our positive and our negative. We're going to use our yellow wire, which becomes the programming wire, and we're going to hold it with the positive wire while we turn on our power supply. The lamp will pause and it'll give us a flash 3 times. that lets us know that we are in the primary flash pattern. So we release it and it shows us how it is programmed out of the box. So it's in steady burn. Now, using the pattern table that's in the instructions for the RECT 16, we can go ahead and we can tap and we can set it up however we want this light to function. So we'll say that I want it to function like that. Now all I can do is to save that is either disconnect power and ground or turn off the power supply, and that is saved. So now when we go to power it on in the future, that program is set in there. You can change the speed of how it flashes, you can change the flash pattern, and you can also change it from dim mode to full intensity. So now that we went into programming a little bit, go take a look at an install on a 2023 Ford Raptor. Just to show how this looks on the outside before we start going through the installation of the bulletproof antenna mount, we've got our wiring harness that's run over to that passenger side up to the footwell, and then we've got our two antenna mounts that each have their own wire that are dropping down and going to that driver's side. So what we're going to do now is we're going to follow the instructions on the bulletproof antenna installation sheet and just knock this install out really quick. I really like this option because now you keep your DOT compliant marker lights, you keep your bed camera right where it's at, and also your bed illumination, just a great factory look. Well, thanks everybody for watching this episode of TOMAR U. We really want to thank Bulletproof Diesel for stopping by our headquarters today. Andrew, anything you want to say to wrap up?
Don't forget to subscribe to TOMAR and Bulletproof Diesel's YouTube page.
Thanks guys, thanks for watching. Be safe out there.